Colorado Springs, a winter storm is on the way. Let's break it down. If we take a look at METARs, we can see temperatures at the surface. Up north, we can see the coldest temperatures, which is going to be what drives our below freezing temperatures for the extended period. In front of that, down a little bit closer to Colorado Springs, we can see temperatures that are 20 to 30 degrees warmer than that, but still cooler than they are here. I'm expecting two different pushes of cold air over the next couple of days. Once that secondary push arrives, it's just going to be frigid cold air seeping into Colorado for at least the next week. So let's cut over to the chart here and take a look at what's happening in the next few hours. Before we brief the chart, let's talk about model of choice and confidence in the forecast details for this storm. The general agreement of the models is what you see on this chart here. When I look at the surface temperature charts at the HRRR, the RAP, or really even the GFS, they all look more or less the same. So they're in agreement on when the storm's going to start and what those starting details will look like within reason. They have less agreement on the ending details. So as the time goes on and the details spread out, they don't necessarily agree on when the snow will end or how much we're going to get. So let's get to it. Looking at the NAM NST surface chart, this is midnight tonight. We can see that the cold air is starting to seep into town. That's pretty much the only thing I wanted to show you for this. It just kind of confirms that the cold air that we saw in the METARs are going to continue to push towards town. Let's look over at the morning data for surface temperatures tomorrow morning. This chart is the NAM NST surface temperature chart for 7 a.m. tomorrow or Friday morning. I picked this chart to show you what your work travel is going to look like as far as temperature is concerned. It is going to be below freezing. You can also see when comparing this surface chart to the last one from midnight that the cold air is steadily moving its march into the state. Basically, I expect two cold pushes like we were just talking about. The second cold push is going to arrive by noon at the latest tomorrow morning. And then it's going to be game on from there. It's going to be frigid air, really, really cold for the extended period. Let's take a look at simulated radar and talk about snowfall now. To keep things visually consistent, I went with the NAM NST simulated radar charts. I picked the 14Z chart to show you your 7 a.m. travels tomorrow morning. It looks like it's suggesting the snow will in fact be here by 7 a.m. So let's break down start time a little bit better than that. There is a little bit of variance in the start times for the most part in what the model data sets are saying. So I'm going to peg it as 5 to 8 a.m. I do want to note the HRRR, which I definitely disagree with, is showing the snow starting later tomorrow afternoon. We can toss that one out for now, but it's still an outlier I wanted to point out. The next chart that we just transitioned to, I picked in order to show that the higher returns on radar will continue over the life of the storm. This is roughly at midnight on Saturday night going into Sunday. This is not actually when I expect it to end. It looks like for ending time on the snow, we have low confidence on exact time. I'm going to pick midnight Sunday night into Monday as it ending at the very latest. But let's look over to our snowfall total chart and try to put it all together. The final chart that I picked is an ensemble snow product. Think of this as a map that blends a whole bunch of different forecast models into one average. This particular map shows me that by the end of the storm, we do see a decent amount of accumulation, even pushing east a little bit of I-25 that's mapped on there. Let's put it all together and say by the end of the storm, I'm expecting 3 to 6 inches with possibly local higher amounts due to any banding or upslope. I am seeing the potential for higher snowfall rates on Saturday, but I didn't want to look too closely at Saturday until we get a little closer to that. Go ahead and give me some patience and grace. This is a very hard storm for me to forecast. I'm going to do my best to provide updates over the next couple of days and get ready to freeze.